The long story of Michael Jackson's lawyer who converted to Islam. Mark Schaffer, an American lawyer and millionaire, decided to convert to Islam on October 17, 2009. At that time, Mark was on holiday in Saudi Arabia to visit several famous cities such as Riyadh, Abha, Jeddah. He vacationed for 10 days in Saudi. Mark is a famous millionaire and also a lawyer trained in Los Angeles, specializing in civil law cases. The last big case he handled was the case of the famous American pop singer, Michael Jackson, a week before he died. A tour guide who accompanied Mark for 10 days in Saudi, Dawi Ben Nashir. Since Mark set foot in Saudi Arabia for the first time, he has started asking questions about Islam and prayer. Once in Saudi, Mark stayed in Riyadh for 2 days. While in Riyadh, he was very interested in Islam. After moving to Najran, they went to Abha and Al-Ula. There, Mark's interest in Islam became clearer, especially when they went into the desert. Mark was amazed to see 3 Saudi youths who were in our group in Al-Ula praying in a very wide expanse of desert. A fantastic panorama, said Nashir, reported in the Saudi Gazette, Sunday, 25/3. After 2 days in Al-Ula, Mark and Nashir went to Al-Juf. Once in Al-Juf, Mark asked if Nashir could give him some books about Islam. Nashir then gave him several books about Islam. According to him, Mark read all these books. The next morning he asked Nashir to teach him how to perform the prayer. Nashir then taught him how to worship and perform ablution. Then, Mark joined Nashir and prayed beside him. After praying, Mark told me that he felt peace in his soul, Nashir continued. On Thursday afternoon, they left Al-Ula for Jeddah. Nashir said that Mark looked very serious about reading books about Islam throughout the trip. On Friday morning, they visited the old city of Jeddah. Before Friday prayer time approached, they returned to the hotel and Nashir said goodbye to go to Friday prayers. Mark told his friend that he wanted to join him for Friday prayers, so he can see for himself how Friday prayers are performed. Nashir then welcomed the idea. Nashir said they then went to a mosque not far from the hotel where they were staying in Jeddah. Because they were quite late, he and many other people had to pray outside the mosque, because the number of congregants was overflowing. I could see Mark observing the people in the congregation, especially after Friday prayers were finished. When everyone was shaking hands and hugging each other with beaming and happy faces. Mark was very impressed by what he saw, he said. When returning to the hotel, Mark suddenly told Nashir that he wanted to become a Muslim. Because of that, Nashir asked him to take a shower first. After Mark bathed, he guided him to recite the Shahada, declaration of faith, and then Mark prayed 2 rak'ahs. Furthermore, Mark expressed his desire to visit the Grand Mosque in Mecca and pray there before leaving Saudi Arabia. To fulfill their wish, they then went to the Dawah Center in Jeddah to get official proof of their conversion to Islam. So, Mark will be allowed to enter the city of Mecca and the Grand Mosque. Mark was then given a temporary certificate of conversion, and he was able to visit the holy city of Mecca. After Mark declared his Islamic faith, he had the opportunity to reveal his experiences to Al Riyadh newspaper. He said that he could not express his feelings at that time. However, he felt like he was being reborn and starting a new life. I am very happy. The happiness I feel cannot be expressed in words, especially when I visited the Grand Mosque and the glorious Kaaba, said Mark. Mark also told about his next steps after he converted to Islam. He explained that he wanted to learn more about Islam, learn more about the religion of Allah, Islam, and return to Saudi Arabia to perform the Hajj. He also revealed what prompted him to convert to Islam. I already had information about Islam, but it was very limited. When I visited Saudi Arabia and personally witnessed the Muslim people there and saw how they prayed, I felt a very strong urge to know more about Islam. When I read the correct information about Islam, I became convinced that Islam is a religion of haqq, truth, continued Mark. On Sunday morning, October 18, 2009, Mark left Jeddah's King Abdulaziz Airport for America. When filling out the immigration form before leaving Jeddah, Mark wrote Islam as his religion.